America's Space Force. The U.S. military may soon be taking operations to space. According to a U.S. Department of Defense document, military officials are exploring 4 components for a proposed Space Force. One of these is a space development agency for primarily research and development. The next would be a Space Operation Force. According to the DoD, this would develop, field, and integrate space capabilities into multi-domain warfighting. Thirdly, the U.S. government would explore a services and support component for logistical and administrative purposes. The 4th component the DoD are looking at is a U.S. Space Command to lead conflict operations in space. According to Defense One, the creation of a new military branch would need congressional approval, but some of it could be delivered by a restructuring of the DoD. The Stars and Stripes in Space.
Uncrewed spaceplane nails drop test. Scientists dropped this spaceplane from a helicopter over the Mojave Desert on Saturday. The privately built autonomous Dream Chaser spaceplane completed a free flight drop test in California on Saturday, November 11th. It can carry 7 passengers and looks like a smaller version of current NASA shuttles. Dream Chaser will use Atlas rockets to fly half a dozen delivery missions to the International Space Station by 2024. The test examined the plane during the final approach and landing phase of flight. The Dream Chaser was uncrewed, meaning it was flying on auto, but despite that, it pretty much crushed the drop test.
8,000 feet.
Copy 8,000. Good radar altimeters.
Approach and land. PTIs.
Copy approach and lands. PTIs are active.
End of PTIs.
Copy. PTI is complete.
400 feet.
Copy 400.
Landing gear.
Copy gear deploy.
Good gear deploy.
5 feet. Touchdown.
Private companies drive new space race at NASA. NASA says it soon may be able to launch astronauts from U.S. soil to the International Space Station. Important project milestones are coming up for NASA's 2 commercial crew partners, Boeing and SpaceX, with several flight tests, including manned missions slated for 2018. Boeing is working on the CST-100 Starliner. The spacecraft can seat up to 7 and is meant to send astronauts to the space station. 3 Starliners are currently in production, with 1 set to carry astronauts next year. The pressurized vessel can be reused 10 times. SpaceX, which has flown cargo missions to the ISS with its Dragon spacecraft, plans to use the Dragon 2 to send astronauts to space. The Dragon 2 is the latest version of SpaceX's capsule model. It's designed to seat 7 astronauts. Boeing and SpaceX must show that both of their systems are ready to start regular flights to the space station in order to meet NASA's requirements. SpaceX has its first test flight set for February, while Boeing's launch is planned for June.
NASA is sending an AI bot to the ISS. Hello, my name is Simon. According to reports from NASA, an AI robot is set to join astronauts at the International Space Station. A SpaceX rocket will carry supplies, food and water, as well as a new robotic crew member. The robot is named Simon, for Crew Interactive Mobile Companion, and has a diameter of 32 centimeters. It is also equipped with 14 fans, so it can float and maneuver. Simon will be up on the space station to assist astronauts answering their questions by displaying pictures and videos on its screen. The AI robot is set to be deployed for 3 months in order to conduct several experiments. One trial will test to see if Simon can help astronauts solve a Rubik's Cube. The Orlando Sentinel reports that this is the first time an AI-based robot will interact with astronauts in space.
A flying heat shield. According to reports from NASA, an unscrewed Orion spacecraft will be launched during the Exploration Mission 1, beginning a 3-week trip to space. NASA's Orion spacecraft is 16.5 feet in diameter, one of the largest of its kind. The base structure of the heat shield has titanium truss covered with layers of carbon fiber material known as composite substrate. Large blocks of avcoat and ablative material were then bonded onto the shield surface. Avcoat has been used in the past in Apollo's heat shields and the Orion Exploration Flight Test 1. However, this time, blocks were used instead of the usual injecting method. The Orion spacecraft would be taken 40,000 miles beyond the Moon and back to Earth. As the spacecraft re-enters Earth's atmosphere, it would need to withstand temperatures of up to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is when the ablative material will wear away and prevent heat from being transferred to the rest of the spacecraft. The NASA engineers plan to monitor how the Orion performs in outer space, and if it works well, it may soon carry astronauts into space destinations such as the Moon and Mars. We're going back to the Moon. Aerospace companies United Launch Alliance and Bigelow Aerospace are collaborating to put a space station in orbit around the Moon. The Lunar Depot plan is aimed at placing a Bigelow B-330 inflatable habitat in low lunar orbit by the end of 2022. ULA's Vulcan rocket will launch the B-330 into lower Earth orbit, where it will stay for about a year. While there, the habitat will receive supplies and get crew members rotated every few months. 2 more Vulcan rockets will then be launched and their upper stages left in orbit. After propellant from one stage is transferred to the other, the fully fueled stage will attach the B-330 and propel it to its final position orbiting the Moon. The companies claim the habitat can serve both as a platform for lunar business development and a location for NASA to conduct exploration and astronaut training missions.